I'm hard on myself, and maybe you can relate to that, but that's a problem. It's a problem because when you start to, when we start to tie hard work to success, right? We'll find that success means something different than what we would like it to be. Success just means that you did a thing, right? Rather than you achieved the desired result, which success should mean that you achieved the desired result that you had going into this, not that you just did a thing, the thing, right? So, for example, if I just, spent many days figuring out how, or just a whole day figuring out, rigging up contraptions to figure out how to lift a very heavy object, that has nothing to do with my goals. Picking up that thing has nothing to do with my goals, you know? So all I get to say then, success in that situation just means that I picked up a heavy object. It doesn't mean that I achieved success in whatever, wealth, health, family, life. I didn't I didn't get any of those things out of that. I just picked up a heavy object. Good for you. Right? And so the reason I say hard work in particular, it's not a bad thing. It's just a category of work. Okay, there's hard work, and there's a million of them. There's lazy work, creative work, smart work. It's not about the type of work you do that determines whether or not you have success, like the appropriate success that we defined here now as acquiring or achieving the thing that you desire, the results that you desired going in with the intention that you had going in. And so what you would want is for that work, that quality of work, whatever you're doing, that type of work, that category, to be in the environment in which it becomes what is the higher level work, which is high quality work. You can be lazy or creative or hardworking or smart working or whatever, category that you want to classify what you do in, as long as it's appropriate for the environment in which that you're doing that work, right? That's whenever it becomes high quality. And high quality always equals success because it's inherent. Now we just defined high quality work as doing any kind of work in the appropriate environment. Of course, you're only going to be doing that going in with the intention that I want X result. So you work backwards. I want X result, so I need to be operating in this kind of environment. What's most appropriate for that environment? If you are just the kind of person that just does hard work, you're not guaranteed that success, And so my solution to this is, I guess I have a couple of things. I'm working on this for me, right? So first of all, let me give you an example. I have supposed to. This is the first time of me doing one of these long form videos, and I was supposed to have done it 2 weeks ago. I'm not usually that behind on any kind of content or creation, music, whatever. If you don't know, I make music, right? If you're here, I guess you do. But the problem was that it was a new idea that had a bunch of aspects to it. I had to get lighting right. I had to get the script right. And, I woke up this morning. I have a kid coming on the way. And I think that when you force yourself to do hard work, not necessarily something you want to do, I'm just making content, right? Then it becomes a stress. You don't have to be stressed out to do good work, right? I don't like to identify anymore my stress with how much work I'm doing or the potential quality of work I can do. And so after 2 weeks of pushing it off, I woke up this morning and I was like, I want to do this because I love it, right? And so that's kind of one of the first things is identifying the intent before I do a task. If the intention doesn't fit what I'm doing, I'm not going to do that task. It's as simple as that. I'm trying to keep everything as simple as possible. Okay, so if I can identify the intention that I have going in, why am I doing this, right? It is not, you create content. In my situation, I'm creating this because I have a lot of things that I say. that I feel are worth something to somebody. How many times I've said something to a person and it's helped them. I think everybody has something to say to help people and benefit their lives. And so I want to give that, these words to people, whether you take it as stupidity, wisdom, or, something in between or something else entirely, but you're able to use that and apply it to further your life in some way, shape, or form, right? Okay, so what do I need a script for? I'm not saying what I want to say. I'm saying something I'm predetermining, and I'm not sure if I'll actually feel in the moment. The lighting doesn't matter for what I'm saying. Maybe it has some kind of, something to do with performance, but that's not what the intention is. So I woke up this morning. I just came in here. I don't have a setup. I just sat down in this little chair. I turned on a light and I set up this microphone and I started recording, right? It's simple. I kept it simple. And I think that's important. So that's one of the things is identifying the intention behind what I'm doing. And then, the next step would be not suffering your imagination. Imagination is one of the most powerful tool. I've talked about this before. The most powerful tool that we have as human beings. The thing that really sets us apart, people like to say it's our ability to think and blah, 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 blah. No, it's our tools. It's the fact that we can create tools, right? There are other animals that have a much stronger thinking capacity, at least from what I understand, right? But we create tools, and on top of that, we know how to use them. And one of the tools we have is not physical. It's psychological. It's in your mind. It's your imagination. One of them is memory, for sure. So you can learn from what has happened in the past. The other is imagination. That's one thing that we have over most other animals, and even the other animals that do have imagination, they can't use it to the same efficacy as we can. So the thing about imagination, though, is it's such a powerful tool and so underrepresented in people's thinking that it can get out of control very easy. And I think that's where a lot of anxieties come from. I think a lot of anxieties, a lot of people who, well, let's leave it at that. Any sort of mental distortion, let's say, of what you are, who you really are, and what you're actually capable of achieving. It comes from imagination. So whether that's a good or bad thing, right, is completely up to you and how to use it. So I was back to this example of creating this particular video, right now that I'm making now. I was thinking about how difficult it was going to be, to do in post if the lighting's not right, or how difficult it was going to be to have this flowy conversation. I've never done this style before, blah, 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 right? People won't like it. Who cares, right? Because going back to it, it's the intention. I'm fulfilling the intention. I will be happy when I'm done. That's what matters. I mean, and I think a lot of times people get afraid to think or they neglect to at least explore that line of thinking, because if I do that, if I think along the lines of, will people like it? Then somebody can tell me they don't like it. But if I think along the lines of, does this fulfill my intention? No one can come after me afterwards and say, this doesn't fulfill your intention. They can't. You literally couldn't, and you wouldn't. You would first say that you do or don't like the video, right? So understanding whether or not this is in line with my intention and my values. If it does, I will do it. No excuses, just execution, right? If it doesn't, then I don't do it. And then next is keeping it simple. Because then I don't have to worry about all these extra things. And now this imagination, right now, none of this is scripted, right? And I'll get better at this speaking thing over time. I promise. I'll do more of these. And when you have your imagination on your side, you can then create things. So I'm not scripted, like I said, and everything that's coming to me right now is just like, coming from the ether right into this little port, right into my little brain, this antenna I have here. And so I'm giving you whatever is like, I'm using that imagination for a creative process. Hopefully I'm giving you some kind of valuable thing in one way, shape, or form you're able to take. Maybe you just want to learn a little bit more about me. Maybe you were pleasantly surprised and you got another way of looking at things, another perspective. Rather than you letting that imagination boil and churn and ferment and become something else, fester into, 2 weeks of procrastination, something that's completely out of character for you, something that's misaligned with your intention going into whatever it was you're about to do, right? If you can learn to use that tool and keep it simple, imagination becomes the only thing that you need in this life outside of your intention, because your intention is what you use to direct it, right? So just to recap, being hard, I've been hard on me, and I think that's what inspired me to create this like video and all the videos going forward. I'm just going to talk about what it is I feel I've learned, I've gotten out of my my own behavior, mess ups, screw ups, and how I can then apply them and fix them, and hopefully maybe you can use the same, right? But I've been hard on me, and being hard on yourself doesn't work, because success then starts to equal something that maybe you don't. It just means you achieved doing a thing. Whatever it is you are doing, it doesn't mean that you achieved the desired result. And so instead of working hard, I want to start working high quality. High quality only comes from the work being done in a proper environment, and a lot of times consistency, which comes from loving what you're doing. Understand, if your intentions are in line, again, with what you're doing, you keep it simple, then what you do, you end up loving to do that. And loving work, is going to start bringing you closer and closer towards that success margin. Everybody, I always say this to people, success, I kind of kept it broad, is here I'm talking about achieving a desired result that you're looking for in your life. For me, and I think for everybody, that desired result, at least half of that desired result is just being happy and comfortable, right? Being a joyful existence. So you're already, as part of the equation, you're already doing that by working in a loving way. If you're working in a loving way, then the result is already tied to what you're doing. What you're doing was already giving you half of the answer. And the other half, it just depends on whether or not you align the environment and the intention and the type of work and all that shit together, right? So anyway, I think that's as far as I'm going to bring it. If you found value in this video, share it with somebody else who might find value in it. Subscribe for sure. And if you like it, then like it, because undoubtedly that helps get it to more people. So anyway, that's it. I love you. Bye.